Hi, I'm Caramia Muffet and I'm a mental health trainer for Mind in Salford. Today I want to share with you my top tips for working from home. Top tip number 1, preparing your workstation. Prepare your workstation and only use it for work. If you don't have the room in your house to keep this space set up constantly, that's fine. Take it down at the end of the day. But do make sure part of your office furniture includes a comfortable chair. Top tip number 2. Have all your necessities to hand. Make sure your office contains what you need to do your job. Pens, paper, research book, notes and so on. Top tip number 3. Make your office your own. At the side of my desk I have a picture of my children. They're a lot older than this now, but this is one of my favourites. I also have some things that my children have made for me and a present from my work colleague, which I leave on my desk. Top tip number 4, get into a routine. If you're working from home on the odd occasion, some of us may take the opportunity to work in our PJs in bed, and especially if it's cold outside and really snug in bed. That's okay if you're only working from home on a few occasions, but the world we find ourselves in at the moment means that we are probably going to be working from home for a long term. It's really important to get a routine and stick to it. So set your alarm for the time you would normally get up. Get up and get dressed for work. Have your breakfast and morning coffee and clean your teeth. Trust me, your family will thank you for that. Do everything you normally would do before starting work. I always wear perfume, and so I always make sure I pop this on as well before I start work. Top tip number 5, ensure you have regular breaks. So let me ask you, if you were in the office, would you work 100% of the time? No, of course you wouldn't. We would pop to the loo, make ourselves a drink, and we would also have a chat to our work colleagues we pass on the way. So make sure you do this at home. When you go to get a drink, don't feel you have to run there and back without saying hi to your family members, and certainly don't rush the loo bit. Top tip number 6, exercise. We're allowed to go out to get exercise once a day in the fresh air. Make sure you use your allowance. Perhaps you could do this in the morning instead of your commute to work, or maybe in the evening to wind down. Don't be telling me you don't have the time to do this. Working from home means no commuting. This is your time right here. If you can't get out to exercise for whatever reason, remember there are exercises that cater for all ages and all abilities on YouTube. So do a bit of research. Do remember, if you do go out, to social distance. Remember to stay 2 meters apart from other people. Don't go further than 1 kilometre from your house, and do not stay out for any longer than 1 hour. Top tip number 7, do not work excessive hours. When working from home, there is a tendency to work longer hours. Try not to get into the habit of working too many hours. Again, remember the current situation isn't going away in the next week, and working excessive hours can increase stress levels and bring on poor mental health. Top tip number 8, keep in touch with staff. If you are a line manager, remember to keep in touch with your staff. Out of sight certainly should not be out of mind. And remember, if you are not a line manager, then you can make contact with your manager just as easily as they can contact you. Top tip number 9, IT. Working from home means possibly lots more video conferences. Don't worry, you don't have to have the video enabled if you don't want to, but I would advise you do. It's better when you can see somebody and their reactions. Now is the time to learn how to use one of the many packages available for video conferencing. For example, Microsoft Teams, Zoom, Messenger, and there are lots more as well. Top tip number 10, you're out of the office. When the workday is done, turn work off until the next working day. Cut off from it completely and put on your out of office, and stick to your out of office. If you are tempted to log on again, ask yourself, would you do that if you had to travel to your office to log on? If the answer's no, don't do it. Top tip number 11, annual leave. Remember to take your annual leave. We may be in this situation for a long time. We need to have a break from work. That is the whole reason we have annual leave. Don't forget to use it and take the time to do things you wouldn't normally do, like spending time with other people in your household, or reading a book, or catching up on that film you have wanted to watch for a long time. The time can be anything you want it to be, but you need to cut off from work. Top tip number 12, the end of the day. At the end of the day, what is important is that you leave the office. Go and do something nice. Top tip 13. Still find small things you are grateful for and write them down. I have a gratitude jar that I save my gratitudes in, so when I'm feeling low, I can refer to what I've wrote in here. Top tip number 14. Talk to people. This is probably one of the most important tips I can give you. Remember, it can be isolating working from home, so make sure you keep in touch with your colleagues, more so now than ever before, and not just via email or instant messaging. If you're feeling low, tell somebody. The chances are others are feeling the same and want to share their experiences too. Maybe call them on the phone, or better still, use a video call so you can actually see the person. This way you can support one another. If you are feeling low, there are a number of places you can contact. If your employer has a workplace employee assistance program, they are still available to talk. Find out the number from your employer. Contact your local Mind. I'm from Mind in Salford, and their number is 0161 710 1070. If this is not your local Mind, take a look on Google how to contact yours. The Samaritans are still at the end of a phone. Their number is 116 123. Or you can email them on Jo, that's J-O, @samaritans.org. Or perhaps you would prefer to text to seek help, in which case shout is always at the end of a text, and their text number is 85258. And that is the end of my top tips. I'm going to now practice what I preach. Stay safe everyone, and remember, we're all in this together.